You don't feel trapped. That's the strange part. Nothing around you feels dangerous. Nothing feels urgent. Nothing feels wrong enough to leave. Your life works, it functions, it repeats, and that's why it's hard to notice what's happening. Because real cages don't look like cages. They look like routines you've perfected, like choices you can justify, like days that don't hurt. Ask yourself something quietly, not out loud, not defensively. When was the last time your life demanded something new from you? Not excitement, not chaos, demand. Most people don't stop growing because they fail. They stop because everything starts to feel fine. Comfort doesn't announce itself. It settles in, softly, patiently, until effort feels unnecessary and unfamiliarity feels unreasonable. If this were a trap, it wouldn't feel like danger. It would feel like relief.
Nothing actually changed. That's what makes it hard to name. You didn't make a wrong decision. You didn't mess anything up. You simply kept choosing what already fit. The same pace, the same conversations, the same thoughts that feel responsible to keep thinking. Familiarity is quiet. It doesn't push. It doesn't rush you. It just keeps offering the version of life you already know how to survive. And survival feels productive, especially when no one questions it. You call it stability, consistency, being realistic. But realism has a side no one talks about. It slowly convinces you that wanting more is unnecessary, even immature. So you stop listening to the part of you that used to lean forward, not because it disappeared, but because it kept being postponed. Postponement is comfortable. There's always a reason, a better time, a safer moment. And that's how years don't collapse. They stretch, quietly, without resistance. The trap doesn't tighten, it settles. And once it feels normal, it stops feeling like a choice at all.
At some point, the comfort stops feeling like rest. It starts feeling like weight. Not heavy enough to alarm you, just heavy enough to slow you down. You notice it in small places, in how often you repeat the same explanations, the same jokes, the same justifications for why now isn't the time. Nothing is wrong, but nothing is expanding either. Growth doesn't announce its absence. It fades out, gradually, like a sound you don't realize you stopped hearing. You still move, you still improve technically, but the edge is gone, the stretch, the quiet uncertainty that used to sharpen you. Safety begins to cost more than it gives, not suddenly, but steadily. And the price isn't pain, it's narrowing. Your world doesn't fall apart, it gets smaller. And the smaller it gets, the more you mistake it for control.
Here's the part that's uncomfortable to sit with. You didn't drift here. You arrived on purpose. Every choice made sense. Every step felt reasonable, even responsible. That's how these patterns survive. They're defended by logic, protected by explanations that sound mature. You didn't avoid growth. You managed it. You contained it, kept it within lines that wouldn't disrupt anything important. Risk was postponed, not denied, just delayed. And delay feels harmless because nothing breaks, nothing collapses. But something else happens. The unfamiliar starts to feel irresponsible. Curiosity feels indulgent. Discomfort feels unnecessary. So you stay fluent in the life you already know. You become efficient at repetition, skilled at staying where you are. At some point, the question isn't, why haven't I grown? It's, what have I been protecting so carefully? There's a moment when resistance gets tired, not defeated, just quiet. You stop arguing with the pattern, stop justifying it, stop pretending it isn't there. And in that stillness, something becomes obvious. Not loud, not dramatic, just clear. Comfort didn't replace growth, it replaced the need to ask harder questions. Questions that don't have safe answers, questions that don't respect your timelines. You realize how much energy went into maintaining familiarity, how carefully you arranged your days to avoid friction. Not because you're weak, but because friction threatens the identity you've stabilized. Growth doesn't just change outcomes, it changes who you have to be while getting there. And that's the cost no one mentions. It's not fear of failing, it's reluctance to become unfamiliar to yourself.
Once you see it, there's less urgency. That surprises people. No spike of motivation, no sudden need to burn everything down. Because this was never about force or escape or proving anything. It was about noticing how carefully you built a life that doesn't ask much of you anymore. Comfort isn't the enemy, it's the signal. A signal that growth has been negotiated, trimmed, made reasonable. So clarity arrives quietly, without instructions, without urgency. You don't need to abandon what's familiar, you just stop mistaking it for expansion. There's relief in that distinction, not excitement. Relief. Nothing needs to change right now. That's not avoidance, that's honesty.
because seeing the pattern is already a disruption. It loosens something, quietly. You'll notice it later, in moments that used to pass without friction, in decisions that used to feel automatic. Comfort won't feel as invisible anymore, not threatening, just visible. And once something is visible, it can't fully protect you the same way. You won't feel compelled to rush or rebel or prove growth to anyone. You'll just recognize when ease starts replacing depth, when familiarity starts negotiating your future. Growth won't announce itself when it returns. It never does. But you'll know, because comfort will feel a little less comfortable and a little less convincing.
And that awareness, it doesn't push you forward. It stays with you. In quiet moments, in choices that used to feel obvious. Nothing collapses, nothing announces a beginning. You simply stop calling comfort growth. And once that distinction exists, it never fully leaves. This isn't content for entertainment. It's a reminder to live with awareness. Take one thought from here and apply it today, not tomorrow. That's how change begins. Train the mind, carry the strength. This is Mindful of Strength for you.